Hello students, in this video I'm gonna explain displaying data, page 144, chapter 4, lesson 3, okay? For this topic I'm gonna explain the questions that's coming in national questions, okay? Our vocabulary is line graph, bar graph, double bar graph, double line graph, and a histogram with frequency table, okay? Frequency table, yes. For this topic you have to recognize each definitions, okay? Definition of bar graph, line graph, double bar graph, double line graph, frequency table, and histogram. And you have to recognize the graph belongs to which definitions. For example, we will start with bar graph, the definition, and for each one I will give you the examples. For example, bar graph uses bars to show how many items something happens. For example, number of students who like apple, banana, or orange. Bar graph, okay? For double bar graph, it's the same thing, compare, but in this case you have two sets of data, okay? For example, comparing boys and girls, there's two bars next to each other, compares boys and girls who like different sports, okay? This is about double bar graph. Frequency table lists items and show how many often they occur. For example, recording how many times each set score appears. Then we have line graph. Line graph, it's line, shows how many data change over time. Example, temperature changes during the day. It's about line graph. Double line graph, two lines together, one of them may be decreased, the other one increased, or maybe they are increased together or decreased together. So we will say what's the definition of double line graph? Shows how two related sets of data change over time. For example, for double line graph, comparing temperature in two cities over 1 week, okay? The last one, it's histogram, use it for large data sets into interval. What's the difference between histogram and bar graph? Okay, because both of them are bars, uses to the data. Let's see the difference between histogram and bar graph. There is no space between the bars in histogram because it's continued, but in bar graph or double bar graph there is a space between bars. So and histogram, they connected to each other. There is no gap, there is no space between the bars. Now let's see this one. This graph, it's for what? It's double bar graph, okay? It's compared between two things. What about this one? As you can see, there is no space, so this one is what? Histogram. And now we have double lines, so it's what? It's double line graph. Let's see. Question 10. Which kind of graph would you use to compare the average salaries professional basketball players and professional football players from 2000 to 2010? If the question is until here, and football players, if we remove this, so it will be double bar graph, okay? But since we have times, data change over time is for double line graph. So this question is double line graph. Let's solve a spiral review. Which data displays the most appropriate to show the change at sales over a 4-month period? As you can see, again, we have 4 months. It's a line. And the definition of line graph, it's what? Data change over a time. So it is line graph. Okay, let's solve some national questions. The question 3 is used to display and compare two sets of data. Which one is correct? Of course, bar graph. Okay, so it is bar graph. Sorry. Question 4 is listing items according to the number of times that the items occur. So which one is correct? It's frequency table. Question 5 is used to large sample in interval tables. Which one is correct? Large sample. As you know, it's histogram, because we say histogram used for what? For large data. Question 6 is used to show how two related sets of data change over time. So, which one is correct? Double line graph. Okay. Question 10. Sorry. Which data display the most appropriate to show change? It's a spiral graph. We did it. So it's line graph or double line graph. Okay. There is no line graph. That's why we'll choose double line graph.